Hey guys, we are looking at the last lesson from the chapter before we move on, which is very exciting. Okay, so 8.4 is kind of a weird one for those of you that joined our meet. It is just a little bit out there, but we are going to look at it together. So we have to remember that similar solids are solids that have the same shape, obviously, and they have to have proportional corresponding dimensions. If the dimensions are not proportional, then what we're about to learn is not going to apply. So let's take a look at this. We have cylinder A that has a radius of 6 and a height of 4. And we are trying to figure out which one is similar to A. So we'll simply set up a ratio. It doesn't matter which one you put in the numerator or denominator, so I'm just going to do radius over height. So for cylinder A, my radius is 6, my height is 4. And I'm going to compare that to B. So in B, the radius is 5 and the height is 3. And I'm basically just asking, is this an equivalent fraction? Are these equivalent fractions? In my opinion, the easiest way to do this is to cross multiply, because you don't see an easy multiplier this way. So I'm simply going to do 20 does not equal 18, so it cannot be cylinder B. So that obviously means it's going to be C, but let's prove it. Again, I have that ratio of radius to height as 6 to 4, and that's for cylinder A. And then comparing that to cylinder C, we've got 7.5 to 5. So again, simply cross multiply. We know that this one's 36 times 5. And just check to see if 7.5 times 4. And it does. 30 does equal 30, so the correct answer would be C. Okay, this one's a little bit different because they are asking you for the slant height on this one. So we are assuming, not assuming because they told us, we know that they're similar. So we know that the ratios of the corresponding side lengths should be equal. So let's start with radius of the cone X, and we'll do Y over here. So radius over slant height, I'm going to call that L, is 5 to 13. Set that equal to the cone Y radius, which is 7, over what we don't know. And then again, there's no easy multiplier from 5 to 7, so easiest thing to do is just cross multiply. So we have 5L equals 91, and we're going to divide by 5. And that's going to give us 18 2/10. And we will label that with yards. Okay, so on your own, try these two and come back when you are ready to check. Okay, here we go. For number 1, cylinder D, you're just comparing back to that first example that we did. You may have tried B right away because that one did not work. If you did, lucky you, you got it right on the first guess. And then for number 2, we are finding 2 measurements in this one, so I hope you compared it to the measurement that you knew for sure. You never want to use an unknown when you're trying to find a new one, because if you get it wrong here, you're going to get it wrong here too. So what I mean by that is you should have used 20 over 8 in both of your ratios for that one. Okay, so this is the key idea that we talked about when we did the Google Meet, that surface areas of similar solids are going to be equal to the square of the ratio of the corresponding linear measures. So basically, to break that down, what that means is if solid A is similar to solid B, that means A is proportional to b. So if we do a ratio of a to b and we square it, it's going to be equal to the surface area ratio. So here we go in action. Let's see what that looks like. So we have pyramid A that has a side length of 6 feet, a height of 6 feet, and pyramid B, which has a height of 10 feet. We know that they're similar, so this ratio should be proportional when we set this up. What we're going to do is we're going to square that and say that that is equal to what we don't know over what we do know. And again, just making sure that A numbers are in the top and B are in the bottom. And you want to make sure that you have the side lengths in this fraction squared. Okay, so we have 36 to 100 equals x over 600, and this is an easy one. You don't have to cross multiply because 100 times 6 gives me 600, so that means 36 times 6 should be my answer. And our answer is 216. And since we're talking about the surface area, we want to say feet squared. Okay, so once again, on your own, we are only going to do number 3 because it does involve quite a bit of calculation. Also, side note, do not use a calculator. I am noticing that some of you are using a calculator, and again, it's very obvious when you are using one because I know you're not multiplying these things and dividing these things in your head. Okay, pause it and come back. Okay, so a lot of calculation involved here, and I think I forgot to write down my final answer here, which was right over here. 237 and 5/10 meters squared. And that was for on your own 3, since we did not do number 4. Okay, so our next key idea, similar to the last one, volume. So same principle. If you have two solids that are similar, the ratio of their volumes is now equal to the cube of the ratio of their corresponding linear measures. So you have solid A, solid B. A to B cubed is going to be equal to their volume. So looking at this example here, the dimensions of the new touch tank in an aquarium are doubled. That's when you get to stick your hand in and touch I think these are stingrays in that picture. The fact that they say that they're doubled means that it was obviously multiplied by 2. So even though they didn't give us dimensions here, we can just call it 1 to 2. So we would say, if this is the original tank and its volume was 2,000, we'll say 1 to 2 cubed is equal to 2,000 over what we don't know. So once again, where that 1 to 2 came from, since they didn't give us the dimensions over here, we just had to go off the fact that it was going, it really doesn't matter what it is. It's proportional, so it's going from one thing and doubling. So that's why I simply put 1 to 2. Okay, so we would have to evaluate the exponent first. So that's 1 to 8. 2 times 2 times 2 equals 2,000 over x. And so another easy one to multiply straight across. X would have to be 16,000 feet cubed. Okay. Again, you do not have to do number 5. A little bit of calculation involved here, and this is already kind of a lengthy lesson. So, take a look at number 6, pause the video, come back and check. Here we go. So the answer to number 6, when you cube the side lengths, the ratio of the side lengths, you should get 21 3/10 inches cubed. And again, that was rounded to the nearest tenth, so since it was repeating, we rounded it to 3/10. Okay, That is all. It's actually shorter than I thought it was going to be. So it's okay. If you want extra practice, you can do the 2 on your owns that we did not do. And let me just put the answers down real quick. I'm not going to work them out, but in case you want to do those for extra practice, well, actually, I guess I should say pause the video. Pause the video and come back and check your answers on the 2 on your owns that we didn't do. Okay? Okay, and here are those answers worked out. This is the answer for number 5. And going back, the answer for number 4